South Korean athletes at the Paris Olympics have steadily collected gold medals in shooting, archery, and fencing, winning a total of 15 medals in the three categories alone as of the ninth day of the Games.
2024 파리올림픽에서 우리 선수들이 사격, 양궁, 펜싱에서 금메달을 꾸준히 획득한 가운데 대회 9일째까지 이 세 종목에서만 메달 15개를 따냈습니다. Wow! You know what people are saying in Korea as a joke?
What is that?
Korea is at war because we're using all these weapons.
Yes, who knew Korea would be so good at these weaponry disciplines, right?
Exactly.
The three sports of archery, shooting, and fencing, we're talking just gold medals alone. It's 10 gold medals. So it's amazing, you know, a clean sweep in archery. So there are 5 gold medals up for grabs in archery. Korea swept them all.
Yeah,
both
exactly.
the men's and women's teams event, the mixed event, and the individual events as well. So congratulations to the archery team. Also shooting, this was sort of unexpected. You had some very young winners here as well. Pan Hyo-jin, she became the youngest gold medalist in Korean history.
Is that right?
That's right, in the 10-meter air rifle shooting event. And of course, in fencing, we had medals won by led by Oh Sang-uk in the sabre, the saber.
Right.
The saber events, both in the team and the individual. And it's not over for Korea yet. The medal haul. We still have taekwondo, which has yet to be competed. Yet the competition hasn't started yet. Badminton's An Se-young is competing in the gold medal match today at around 6 p.m. Korea time. So be on the lookout for that. And yesterday, more history. Lee Mae-ji won a bronze medal in the women's boxing 54-kilogram event, the first Korean female boxer to win an Olympic medal.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
와우. 그래요. 지금 보니까 합계 우리가 금메달 10개, 은메달 7개, 동메달도 7개 해서 24개의 메달을 지금까지 획득했습니다. 정말 모두 다 박수를 보내드리고 싶어요. 근데 특히나 이 사격, 양궁, 펜싱에서 금메달이 나왔단 말이에요. 그래서 우스갯소리로 이게 다 이제 무기를 사용하는 종목들이다 보니까 파리에서 싸우는 중이다. 진짜 싸우고 있네요. 어떻게 보면은.
You want to hear another joke?
Yes.
Why Korea is so good at archery?
Why?
It's in the national anthem, in the 애국가.
Is it?
It says 하느님이 보호하사 우리나라 만세.
아하.
Yeah. So we were destined.
Bow and arrow에서 그래서 우리가 이렇게 잘하는 거군요.
Yes.
알겠습니다. 첫 번째 표현 좀 볼게요. Collecting a medal.
Yes, so Korea is collecting medals. That means they're accumulating or amassing, gathering or garnering these medals at a very steady pace.
Exactly. 자, 금메달을 따내다, 획득하다, win도 쓸 수 있고요. collect도 가능합니다. 자, 그 다음에 as of 언제.
Right. So this is a phrase used to indicate the time or the date, perhaps, in which something starts. So you can say as of now or as of yesterday, as of tomorrow, so and so.
네, 언제를 기점으로라는 뜻인데요. As of the ninth day of the Paris Olympics라고 하면은 파리 올림픽 9일째 되는 날을 기준으로라는 뜻이 되겠죠. 자, 그럼 다시 읽어보겠습니다. South Korean athletes at the Paris Olympics have steadily collected gold medals in shooting, archery, and fencing, winning a total of 15 medals in the 3 categories alone as of the 9th day of the Games. Let's move on to the next headline.
Nearly 400 people were treated at hospital emergency rooms for heat-related diseases last week as scorching conditions kicked in after the end of the annual monsoon season.
장마철이 끝나고 찾아온 불볕더위로 지난주 주중에만 400명에 육박하는 온열 질환자가 응급실을 찾은 것으로 집계됐습니다. Well, it has been extremely hot.
To say the least,
Yeah.
Sue. You know, we've all been getting the messages on our phones
Constantly.
indicating that heat wave warnings and advisories are in effect, and it really is affecting people. We've had reported at least 4 people dead from suspected heat-related diseases. Over 500 hospitals reported nearly 390 patients as of Monday. As of there's that term again, Monday and Friday last week. with 114 on Thursday alone. And it looks like there's no end in sight for the time being. This intense heat wave has been gripping the nation now since last week. Yeoju, I believe, hit 40 degrees Celsius for the first time yesterday. So it looks like it's a repeat of 2018, I think, was when record highs were set. That was 6 years ago. And it looks like it's happening again this year.
네, 지난주 초에만 해도 월화의 온열 질환자 수보다 이제 수요일 날 한 2배 정도 갑자기 껑충 뛰어서 온열 질환자가 굉장히 많아졌고 통틀어서는 지난주 주중에만 400명 가까이 온열 질환자가 응급실을 찾은 것으로 이렇게 나타났습니다.
Yeah, we can't emphasize enough that you need to stay hydrated, stay out of the heat during the middle of the day, and call your parents, call the elderly, just to check up on them, see how they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what does it mean to be treated for something?
Yeah, when you're treated for something, in this instance, we're talking about being cared for or dealt medically or surgically, cured or healed, cared for.
치료받는다는 뜻이죠. Be treated. And scorching conditions.
Yeah, I know a lot of our listeners, this is a popular phrase to use, scorching, when it's very hot.
Yeah.
It's blistering, it's sweltering. And when you're talking about conditions, it's the current state or circumstance that we're in right now.
네, 여기서 말하는 컨디션은 날씨가 어떻다라는 뜻이 되겠죠. 그런 여건인데 scorching은 매우 매우 더운 겁니다. 그래서 scorching conditions 앞에 보면은 이제 as scorching conditions kicked in이라고 했는데요. 이 무더위가 시작이 되면서라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 읽어볼게요. Nearly 400 people were treated at hospital emergency rooms for heat-related diseases last week as scorching conditions kicked in after the end of the annual monsoon season.
Outbound shipments of kimchi hit a fresh record high in the first half of this year, driven by the growing global popularity of Korean cuisine.
세계적인 한국 음식 열풍에 힘입어 올해 상반기 김치 수출량이 또다시 역대 최대를 기록했습니다. Kimchi.
Yes, and no pun intended when we say a fresh record high.
Right.
When we're speaking of kimchi. If you look at the numbers, according to the Korea Customs Service and the Korea Agro-Fisheries and Food Trade Corporation, from January to June of this year, 23,900 tons of the fermented food were exported. That's up 4.8% on year compared to last year. And that's a steadily rise. If you look at the past decade, back in 2015, that number was 11,000. So it's more than doubled over the past decade. If you look at the country-by-country breakdown, exports to the U.S. jumped 20% on year, to Canada 34%. And interestingly enough, to the Netherlands, exports went up 34% on year. So all around the world, kimchi is popular.
Yeah, the timing seems to be sort of perfect because not only is K-food really big these days, but sort of the vegan culture, people wanting to go vegetarian or vegan and put those two together, and you have kimchi.
Sometimes you do have to be careful because, fish sauces are used in kimchi as well. So you can't say it's completely vegan, but don't tell your vegan friends that.
Okay. Let's have a look at our first expression, hit a fresh record high.
Yeah, to hit a fresh record high, to hit is to achieve here. And if something's fresh, it's new, renewed, or unprecedented, never been done before. So when we talk about world records, you hit a record achievement.
Yeah, exactly. Hit a new high라고 하면은요, 또다시 새로운 기록을 세웠다라는 뜻인데, fresh도 new랑 같은 뜻이고요. record high라는 게 기록적인 최대치라는 뜻이어서 이게 바로 이제 최대를 기록했다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 계속 올라가고 있었거든요. 작년에도 이제 지금까지 기록됐던 것 중에서 최대였고 올해는 그거보다 더 높고 계속 새로 기록을 세우고 있습니다. 자, 그다음에 growing global popularity.
Yeah, so just like if we break this down word by word, if something's growing, it's increasing global across the world, and popularity is the recognition or acclaim, acceptance from just the general population. Here we're talking about the global population.
높아져가는 세계적인 인기죠. Growing global popularity. It can be a bit of a tongue twister, that one. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Outbound shipments of kimchi hit a fresh record high in the first half of this year, driven by the growing global popularity of Korean cuisine. Now here's our next headline.
A new study suggests that a vital system of Atlantic Ocean currents that influences weather across the world could collapse as soon as the late 2030s, representing a planetary scale disaster that would transform weather and climate.
세계 기후에 영향을 미치는 대서양 해류의 중대한 시스템이 이르면은 2030년대 후반에 붕괴할 수 있다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. 이는 지구의 날씨와 기후를 뒤바꿀 수 있는 재앙 수준이라는 분석입니다. Now, we don't want this to happen, and experts are saying it's likely won't happen.
Yeah.
But it could, right?
It is inconclusive right now. The studies are in their preliminary stages. It has yet to be officially published, but this takes a little explaining here, so bear with me. Okay. It's known as the AMOC. It's known as the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation.
Okay.
It's a system of water currents in the Atlantic Ocean where warmer waters in the tropics near the equator move up towards the north and mix with the icier, colder waters in the North Atlantic.
Right.
And that cold water is pushed down. So you have this constant conveyor belt style of current that's happening. Now, what's occurring in the world right now, of course, we know with climate change, warmer water temperatures, and also a disruption in the saltiness of water qualities. And once that's disrupted, the danger and the fear is that it could leave parts of the world unrecognizable.
Exactly. 자, 여기서 말하는 그 AMOC라는 게 우리말로 하면은 대서양, 자오선, 역전, 순환. 좀 말이 어렵죠. 근데 이게 그 아까 말했던 순환 시스템입니다. 시스템이라고 우리가 날씨에 관해서 얘기를 하면은 이게 이제 어떤 전선이 될 수도 있고, 그다음에 무언가가 이제 순환하는 구조가 될 수도 있는 건데요. 여기서 말하는 그 심층 해수 순환 시스템이 바로 AMOC인데 이게 붕괴가 될 수 있다.
Yeah.
이대로 간다면. 근데 붕괴가 되면 정말 지구의 기후와 날씨가 완전히 뒤바뀔 수 있다고 합니다. 그러니까 정말 있어서는 안 될 일일 텐데 일단 전문가들이 가능성으로 봤을 때는 이렇게 안 될 가능성이 더 높기는 하지만 그래도 가능성이 조금이라도 있으니 주의를 해야겠다라는 생각이 드네요. Okay, you said earlier on this is a vital system.
It is a vital system for the ecosystem in that part of the earth. It's of the utmost importance. It's essential and critical for marine life.
Yeah, exactly. 아주 중요하다, 필수적이다라는 뜻이에요. So with the body, sometimes if someone's really, really sick, then the doctor might check the vital signs.
Your vital signs,
Yeah,
right.
so the pulse and what else?
Heartbeat,
breathing,
blood pressure.
Exactly. 이런 이제 정말 많이 아파서 뭐 쓰러졌다든지 누군가가 그랬을 때는 그런 맥이나 호흡, 체온 등등을 체크하잖아요. 요거를 이제 굉장히 중요한 생명의 징후들이라고 해서 영어로는 vital signs라고 합니다. What about planetary scale disaster?
Yeah, so here in terms of planet, it's the adjective form of the Earth, our planet, the planet that we live in. And a disaster is, of course, a calamitous event that causes great damage or loss.
Yeah.
So this planetary scale, if it's on that scale, it's on that size, extent, or degree or proportion.
Yep.
So it would just be catastrophic
It's
for the Earth.
not just on a national scale
No.
or a continental scale.
No.
It's the whole planet.
Planetary scale.
그렇습니다. 전 지구를 지금 다 덮는 그런 일이 될 수도 있다. 지구 모든 곳에 영향을 미칠 수 있다라는 뜻이죠. 그래서 지구적인 규모라는 단어가 나왔어요. Planetary scale. 물론 planet는 행성이지만 우리가 살고 있는 행성이 지구니까 이렇게 해석을 하면 되겠고요.
Yeah. Another way to say the scale part would be, destruction of epic proportions.
Proportions.
You can say as well, right?
Yes, exactly. And disaster is the same word as calamity, or similar at least, as you said. 재난이나 재앙을 뜻합니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. A new study suggests that a vital system of Atlantic Ocean currents that influences weather across the world could collapse as soon as the late 2030s, representing a planetary scale disaster that would transform weather and climate. Now here's our final headline.
The mummy of an ancient Egyptian woman embalmed roughly 3,500 years ago and known for her shrieking expression may have died, quote, screaming from agony, according to a new study.
절규하는 듯한 표정으로 유명한 3,500년 전 방부 처리된 한 고대 이집트 여성 미라가 죽음 당시의 고통 때문에 비명을 지르면서 사망했을 것이라는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. Ooh, so she was tortured?
Who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, the mummy itself
Yeah.
was discovered in 1935 near Luxor in Egypt, and it's known as the Screaming Woman mummy of the store of Qasr al-Aini. It's stored in the Cairo Egyptian Museum, and if you're curious, you can go on the internet and take a look. It is, I guess, it deserves a disclaimer or a warning
Yeah,
because it is
yeah.
a little shocking to see the expression that this woman has, or this mummy has. And scientists believe that the woman was around 48 years old at the time of her death. She had lost some teeth and lived with mild arthritis in her spine when her body was embalmed almost 3,500 years ago.
네, 3,500년 전에 방부 처리가 돼서 그래서 지금까지도 그 형체를 아주 뚜렷하게 볼 수 있는데 얼굴 표정이요. 정말 그냥 딱 봐도 공포에 질린 절규하는 그 모습이에요.
It's like the Scream. I don't know if
By
you've seen the
Edward
movie Scream.
Munch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the movie as
Yes,
well. Yeah, exactly. 맞아요. 딱 그 모습이랑 비슷한데 아마도 사망했을 때 즉시 이게 이제 경직이 돼가지고 그 상태로 그냥 방부 처리가 되고 그랬을 것이다. 즉, 그 당시 죽을 때 이런 표정을 지으려면은 뭔가 굉장히 고통스러웠을 것이다. 이 뜻이겠죠.
Yeah, what's unique is that usually when people were mummified, they would be embalmed and they'd close the jaw. But they didn't do that in this case.
그러니까요. 그 이제 전문가들이 얘기하기로는 사후 이제 곧바로 경직이 됐을 때는 정말 뻣뻣하니까 입을 다물기가 어려웠을 수도 있다라고 합니다. 자, 첫 번째 표현 지금도 얘기하셨는데요. 방부 처리하는 거를 좀 어렵죠, 이거. Embalmed.
Yeah, when you embalm a body, embalming, and embalming, you could say in the noun form, it's when you protect usually a body from decay or oblivion. You're preserving it or immortalizing it, right?
Yeah, exactly. E-M-B-A-L-M-E-D. 근데 L이 silent입니다. Embalmed. 이렇게 얘기를 하고요. And agony?
Yeah, agony is just intense pain or of the mind or body, you know, when there's anguish or torture. You know, speaking of the Olympics, there's the expression, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
아하, 네. The agony of defeat는 패배의 고통이 되겠네요. 자, the thrill of victory는 승리의
기쁨?
기쁨? 네, 네, 그렇죠. agony는 그래서 고통입니다. 자, 다시 읽어볼게요. The mummy of an ancient Egyptian woman embalmed roughly 3,500 years ago and known for her shrieking expression may have died screaming from agony, according to a new study. Well, that's it for our headlines.
The Ministry of Employment and Labour has issued a public notice announcing the minimum wage for next year, set at 10,031 per hour, surpassing the 10,001 mark for the first time.
고용노동부는 내년도 최저임금을 시간당 1,030원으로 확정했다고 고시했습니다. 최저임금이 10,000원대를 넘어서는 것은 이번이 처음입니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so it's this time every year that we get the new announcement, the new public notice of what it's going to be starting January 1st. And so it's up by 1.7% or 171. This year's rate is 9,861, but we're going to 10,031. So that translates to something like 2.09 million won a month if you're working 40 hours a week or 209 hours a month. And that's going to be across all industries, across everywhere. So everyone who's working should be paid at least this. This is our minimum wage. The interesting thing is this time, there were no objections.
Yeah.
Every year we see this back and forth between Labour and management as to what the amount should be. However, during this 10-day review period, this was the first time that there were no objections made.
이의제기가 없었다는 얘기죠. No objections were made about this. 그러니까 이제 시간당 1,030원으로 확정이 되면서 이게 이제 주 40시간 근무한다라고 가정을 했을 때 월 209만 원 정도로 환산이 된다고 합니다. 자, 그럼 표현을 한번 볼 텐데요. 이렇게 고시를 했다. public notice가 나왔다라는 얘기가 있습니다.
Yeah. So if it's public, it's for everyone. It's not private. And if it's a notice, it's an announcement of some kind. So we refer to when there's a policy change or when there's a change in the law and the government wants to let us know, they make a public notice. It can be for a company as well. I mean, even Sue could give a public notice if she wanted to.
그래요. 그래서 이제 issue a public notice라는 표현이 여기서 나오고 있고요. public notice라는 것 자체는 어떤 공시 내지는 그 공개적으로 하는 공지사항이 되겠죠. What's a wage?
Pay me and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Because the wage is the money you are paid for your work. Similar words are salary or payment. And wage we think of as being for regular work. You get a weekly wage or a monthly wage or a yearly wage. So very similar to salary in that sense.
그렇죠. 임금이라는 뜻입니다. 우리가 받는 돈인데요. salary라고 하기도 하고 wage라고 하기도 하고 can you say payment?
You can say payment or pay.
Yeah.
Those are possible, and those can be for freelancers, for one-off jobs. But a salary or a wage is suggesting you're getting this on a regular basis.
Got it. And this is going to apply to all fields and industries from 2025.
Yes, so it's very interesting. We've cracked that 10,001 mark.
We have. Here's the headline again. The Ministry of Employment and Labour has issued a public notice announcing the minimum wage for next year set at 10,031 per hour, surpassing the 10,001 mark for the first time. Now let's move on to the second headline.
A survey by the Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs has found that 2 out of 3 respondents think Korea's society is unfair.
한국보건사회연구원이 실시한 설문조사에 따르면 우리 국민 3명 중 2명은 한국 사회가 불공정하다고 생각하고 있는 것으로 나타났습니다. Okay, so tell us about this survey then.
Okay, so this was conducted last summer, from June through to August. Almost 4,000 people, 3,950 people who are aged between 19 and 75. And so we have a majority who say that they don't think Korea's society is fair, that they don't trust the fairness of the judiciary and also administrative systems, as well as things like performance evaluation at work or review of promotions. Other reasons for why they think Korea is unfair, well, 37% said corruption or irregularities by the privileged. 26% said it was excessive competition. 15% said there wasn't a fair evaluation system, which is why Korea was unfair. Who's thinking Korea is not fair? Well, middle-aged people are the largest part, with 67.9%. But at the same time, when we look at young people, 46% of young people in this survey said they were being discriminated against in Korean society. So certainly among these almost 4,000 respondents, there seems to be a feeling that life is not fair at the moment.
그렇습니다. 작년 6월에서 8월 사이에 실시한 설문조사네요. 이게 2023년 사회 갈등과 사회 통합 실태조사라는 이름으로 실시가 됐다고 합니다. 한 4,000명 정도가 조사에 참여를 했다고 하고요. 이제 전반적으로 봤을 때 우리 사회가 좀 불공정하다라는 응답이 많이 나왔다라고 하는데 전체 응답자의 34.9%니까 35% 정도가 이렇게 이제 공정하다라고 했고 그다음에 65%가 공정하지 않다라고 얘기를 했답니다. 자, 그러면 표현 좀 볼게요. First one is respondents.
A respondent is a person, and it's the person who responds. When we talk about a survey, for example, the respondent will be the person who answers the survey. It could be that Sue sent a letter to me, and if I reply back to that letter with another letter, I will be the respondent. In fact, we will be corresponding, and we will be correspondents.
그러네요. 자, respondent는 응답자라는 뜻이 있는데 여기서는 설문조사에 참여한 사람을 얘기하고 있습니다. correspondent는 서로 주거니 받거니가 있어야 되기 때문에 이 설문조사에선 쓰진 않겠지만 우리가 이메일을 주고받고 한다든지 아니면은 뉴스에서도 now we're going to go over to our correspondent in Seoul.
Exactly.
이렇게
Our
얘기하죠.
foreign correspondent, our domestic correspondent. We use this term a lot to describe journalists.
그렇습니다. 저도 한때는 다른 외신에서 서울의 correspondent 특파원으로 일을 했었는데요. 그럴 때도 쓰기도 합니다.
Can I link this into the introduction, though?
Please.
Because this is not the meaning here, but our brave Mr. Park, I believe his name was a responder. He reacted to the situation.
Yes,
we talk
yes.
about paramedics being the first responders, meaning they are the
Perfect.
first people to react to whatever's happening.
네, 그렇습니다. 이렇게 빠르게 필요한 순간에 가서 구조를 하는 그런 사람을 first responder. 그냥 responder라고 할 수도 있어요. 왜냐하면 그 상황에 맞게 대응을 하는 것이기 때문에. 네, 그때도 씁니다. 자, 그 다음에 불공정하다, unfair.
Yeah, means not fair. And when we talk about fair and unfair, if something is fair, it's balanced. Everybody gets treated the same or gets treated in the right way. If something is unfair, that means it's unbalanced. Maybe one group is getting more benefits, one group is getting less benefits, one group is getting advantages, one group is getting disadvantages. So therefore, it's unfair.
네, 그래요. unfair 한 단어입니다. 불공정하다, 부당하다. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. A survey by the Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs has found that 2 out of 3 respondents think Korea's society is unfair.
The parties in lawsuits seeking damages for last year's Maui wildfires have reached a $4 billion settlement, nearly 1 year after the deadliest US wildfire in more than a century.
미국 역사상 최악의 산불인 지난해 하와이 마우이 섬 초대형 산불이 발생한 지 약 1년 만에 피해 책임을 둘러싼 법적 소송이 우리 돈으로 5조 원대 배상금 지급으로 마무리됐습니다. 자, 엄밀히 따지면은 이제 그 미국 역사상 최악의 산불이라기보다는 지난 100년 동안 있었던 미국 산불 중에서 최악인데요. 이것까지 넣으면 헤드라인이 너무 길어질 것 같아서 이 부분은 좀 생략을 했습니다만 그래도 최악의 산불 중 하나입니다. 그게 이제 법적 소송이 진행 중이었는데 합의를 하기로 했군요. 어떻게 됐나요? Tell us more.
Well, I mean, if our listeners remember just over a year ago, the Lahaina wildfires
Yes.
in Maui, it was shocking to see what happened, the devastation in that part of the island. And after it came 600 lawsuits, and they were to do with either death or destruction of property caused by these fires. Earlier in the spring this year, a judge appointed some mediators and said that all parties had to be involved in these settlement talks, and they have reached a settlement. So it's a little over $4 billion. And also the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, was traveling out of state, but he ended up working on this settlement to make sure it could get through and people could be paid because, well, the most important thing is getting the community back on its feet.
Now, I understand that this sum is not a big sum considering how much damage was made and done. However, the people and the parties involved, especially the defendants, there's a company that's almost going bankrupt right now, so there's a lot of financial issues to consider.
There is, and I think we're in financial turmoil as well this week, so it's good that it's sorted out. One other thing is that these kind of lawsuits can take a very long time. The fact that this has been settled in just over a year is quite incredible because you could be looking at several years, if not a decade. So it means that people, they may not get as much as they were expecting, but at least they will get compensated for their loss.
네, 그렇습니다. 이렇게 합의를 볼 때 영어로는 settle 했다라고 얘기를 합니다. 합의 자체를 settlement 그리고 합의금도 settlement라고 얘기할 수 있는데요.
네.
자, 이렇게 합의가 된 액수, 아까 $4 billion라고 했는데요. 이게 이제 우리 돈으로 하면은 한 5조 원대란 말이에요. 그런데 이게 전체 재산 피해액의 3분의 1 정도밖에 되지 않는 수준이라고 합니다.
네.
높은 금액이 아니에요, 결코. 굉장히 피해가 많았기 때문에. 그러면 왜 그래도 이 비교적 낮은 금액에 합의를 했느냐? 지금 이제 원고 측은 피해자들이 되겠죠. 그다음에 피고 측은 하와이 주, 그다음에 이제 그 전선 관리 업체가 포함이 되어 있거든요. 근데 이 전선 관리 업체가 지금 파산 위기에 있답니다. 그래서 그걸 고려해서 이렇게 합의를 봤다. 이렇게 결론을 지었네요. We're talking about the parties involved, and it's not a party where you go and have fun and meet people.
No, we talked about law with the last headline. We're talking about law again, or rather, here when we have a law. When we have a lawsuit, we have the parties who are involved, which means those who are putting in the claim and those who are defending against the claim. So it's going to be individuals, it's going to be groups, it could be organizations, it could be the government, but the people who are involved in the lawsuits.
Exactly. 자, 소송의 당사자들을 영어로는 the parties involved in the lawsuit라고 얘기를 합니다. parties involved가 이제 어디서 쓰이든지 간에 당사자들이라는 뜻이 있습니다. 그리고 원고는 plaintiff, 그리고 피고는 defendant라고 하죠. 그 다음에 이제 reaching a settlement. We mentioned that briefly before.
Yeah, it means you make an agreement. You manage to get an agreement about how much money should be paid to the plaintiff by the defendant. So yeah, we talk about settling out of court. And quite frankly, I think many businesses are often looking to settle out of court because the fines could be even larger if the defendant loses.
네, 합의하다. 역시 법적인 합의를 얘기하고 있고요. Reaching a settlement라고 합니다. Here's the headline again. The parties in lawsuits seeking damages for last year's Maui wildfires have reached a $4 billion settlement, nearly 1 year after the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century. Now here's our next headline.
After US stocks tumbled on Friday, a 24-hour wealth wipeout saw the world's 500 wealthiest individuals lose a combined $134 billion, according to Bloomberg Billionaire Index data.
지난 금요일 미국 주가 지수가 크게 하락하면서 블룸버그 억만장자 지수에 속한 세계 500대 부자들의 자산 가치가 24시간 만에 총 1,340억 달러, 우리 돈으로 약 182조 원 줄어든 것으로 나타났습니다. 주가가 하락해서 그렇다는 얘기죠. 선생님, tell us more.
Yeah, well, when we think of big tech billionaires, I think two people that come to mind are Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. And for example, Jeff Bezos, he lost like $15.2 billion.
In just one day.
Yep, Elon Musk, $6.6 billion. Then we look at someone like Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Meta, and also Sergey Brin, who owns Alphabet, and also Larry Page, who's another big billionaire. They each lost over $3 billion last Friday. So it's a big tumble for them. It's all to do with the American economy, and it's all to do with the Fed looking at rate cuts. It's all to do with disappointing earnings. We saw it yesterday here in Korea and in Japan as well.
Yes,
with the markets taking a tumble.
Black Monday.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be seeing it over the next few days because we see the US possibly going into recession, and that means the whole world is starting to get a little bit nervous.
Absolutely. 제프 베이소스 같은 경우에는 우리 돈으로 한 20조 원을 24시간 만에 이렇게 증발해버리는 거를 목격했다고 볼 수도 있겠죠. 일론 머스크는 8조 원이 날아갔습니다. 하루 만에 이렇게 주가 하락으로 인해서 세계 부호들의 자산도 굉장히 많이 이렇게 날아가 버렸다.
네.
예, 이렇게 볼 수가 있겠는데 물론 이제 앞으로 어떻게 될지 모르고요. 이게 아무래도 the concerns and the fears, 우려 지금 세계 경제에 대한 미국 경제에 대한 우려 때문에 지금 이렇게 된 것 같은데 일단은 좀 하락했다라는 표현을 보겠습니다.
Yes,
tumble.
Tumble, meaning a big fall. To tumble, if you're a toddler, means you fall over. If you tumble and you're an acrobat, maybe you're spinning and jumping and going this way and that way doing cartwheels. But generally, if something takes a tumble, it means it's going down by a lot. It's a big fall.
그렇죠. 자, 이제 주가가 텀블했다라고 하면은 뚝 떨어졌다라는 뜻입니다. 제가 알기로는 우리 텀블러 있잖아요. 선생님도 텀블러를 하나 가지고 계신데 이것도 예전에 이렇게 굴러서 떨어질 수 있다라고 해서 지은 것 같아요. I think it comes from, barrels that can tumble.
Yeah, but also nothing spills when it tumbles.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
그렇군요. 자, tumble, 이렇게 굴러가다라는 의미가 있을 수도 있으니까 참고로 알아두시고 그다음에 wealth wipeout.
Wealth is all about money, and a wipeout means it's gone.
Yep.
I think this may have come from surfing. Certainly, it's used in popular vernacular for surfing. A wipeout is when you fall off your board.
I see.
Yeah, basically means you got nothing.
네.
So a wealth wipeout means all the money's gone. It's disappeared.
wipeout라는 거는요, 싹 사라지다라는 뜻입니다. wealth는 돈이죠. 그래서 자산이 정말 하루아침에 사라진. 물론 다 사라지진 않았지만 그렇게 표현을 하고 있네요. 한번 보겠습니다. After US stocks tumbled on Friday, a 24-hour wealth wipeout saw the world's 500 wealthiest individuals lose a combined $134 billion, according to Bloomberg Billionaire Index data. Okay, let's move on to the final headline.
The number of Chinese couples who got married in the first half of this year fell to its lowest level since 2013, according to foreign media reports, as more young people deferred nuptials amid a slowing economy and a rise in living costs.
중국의 올해 상반기 혼인 건수가 2013년 이후 최소치를 기록했습니다. 이는 경제난과 물가 상승 등으로 결혼을 미루는 젊은 층이 증가하고 있기 때문이라고 외신이 보도했습니다. Tell us more about this.
Well, we had 3.43 million couples tying the knot in the first half of this year, but that's down by almost 500,000.
Wow.
A drop off of 498,000 people from that same period last year. And the thing is, in China, if you're going to have kids, getting married is what you have to do because there are all sorts of incentives, legally speaking. Once you get married, you can get, these things and that things, but you need the marriage certificate to register your child and to get the state benefits. The issue is no jobs or poor job prospects, no future, or at least worrying about the future. And we're seeing Chinese economy slow down. The other issue is the lack of young people. A decrease in young people means there are less young people to get married. There are also more men than women. And that means, well, there are less couples to go around.
Exactly. 자, 10년 전에 비해서 중국에서 결혼을 하는 그 젊은 부부가 반 정도밖에 되지 않는다. 이렇게 얘기를 하고 있는데요. 자, 한번 보도록 하겠습니다. Deferring marriage, deferring getting married.
Can I tell you later?
What? Why?
In a little while, maybe after the song break.
Why are you
Is that okay?
deferring this?
I'm putting it off. I'm postponing it. I'm delaying it. I'm deferring it. When we defer something, we want to push it further into the future. We don't want to do it at the time we're meant to do it.
네, 자, defer라는 것은 미루다라는 뜻입니다.
However, it can also mean to raise someone up and to agree with whatever they want or whatever they say. I defer to you, Sue, on this explanation.
Okay.
Whatever you say goes.
뭐 그런 의미로도 해석을 할 수 있고요. 여기서는 deferring nuptials라고 했는데 what does nuptials mean?
It's a wedding. It's a wedding ceremony.
wedding.
The nuptials is a way of describing the whole process of getting married.
그래요. 자, nuptials는 결혼의 또 다른 말입니다. There are many words that mean to get married or
Yes.
weddings in
To
English.
get hitched, to tie the knot.
Yep, that's right. 다 결혼하다라는 뜻이죠. 여기서 nuptials는 이제 명사입니다. 결혼식이 되겠죠. All right, here's the headline again. The number of Chinese couples who got married in the first half of this year fell to its lowest level since 2013, according to foreign media reports, as more young people deferred nuptials amid a slowing economy and a rise in living costs. Well, that's it for the headlines this morning.
Korea's exports of food products rose 9.2% year-on-year in the January to July period, led by sharp growth in outbound shipments of instant noodles and processed rice products.
라면과 쌀 가공식품 수출의 높은 증가세에 힘입어 올 1월부터 7월까지 K푸드 수출 누적액이 작년 같은 기간 대비 9.2% 증가했습니다. K-food is still on the rise.
Yeah. So outbound shipments of Korean food products came to $5.67 billion over the January to July period, or the first half of this year. And that was compared with $5.18 billion tallied a year earlier. They say exports of instant noodles jumped 34% over the period to hit $699 million. And they say that exports of processed rice products, they include ready-to-eat rice, frozen kimbap, or those seaweed rice rolls. They surged 45.7% to come up to $165 million.
Right.
And other popular export products include, of course, ginseng products, whose exports rose 5%. And kimchi was another popular export product.
Yep.
And by destination, they say exports to the U.S. jumped 23%, and those to China gained 5.9%. And the ministry says that the overall growth is due to, of course, the diversification of export products.
You just said that exports to America rose 25%, was it?
23%?
23%.
Yeah.
Well, exports to Europe rose 33%.
Yeah.
And I guess this had something to do with the Olympics taking part, collaborations happening here and there. And of course, K-food is gaining a lot of popularity in Europe. So yeah, very interesting there.
Yeah, and I think another reason why Korean food exports have been very popular is because they provide very nice vegan options.
Yes, that's true. Because going vegan or sort of going vegetarian is really in these days. Okay, let's look at the expression sharp growth.
Right. So, when something has or sees rapid growth or an abrupt and dramatic increase, we say that it sees sharp growth.
네, sharp growth가 바로 높은 증가세가 되겠고요. Processed products.
Right, something that's been processed. We say processed foods or processed meats a lot. So here in this article, we're talking about, so it's not just rice, but something that's been made with rice.
Sure.
But it can also refer to just foods that have been washed or just packaged. These are also processed products as well. So any sort of foods that have been washed, processed, or when they contain like preservatives or flavorings or other additives to kind of enhance the flavor, that is called a processed product.
그렇죠. 여기 발음은요. 북미권에서는 지금 카렌 선생님처럼 processed, 이런 발음이 있어요. processed. 근데 영국에서는 보통 processed 그래서 O 발음에 좀 더 가깝습니다.
Yep.
가공식품이라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 과자, 음료, 조금 전에 얘기한 라면, 그다음에 쌀 가공식품. 그러니까 뭐 즉석밥이라든지 냉동김밥 이런 것들이 굉장히 지금 수출이 잘 되고 있다는 거고요. 특히 이번에 유럽을 상대로 수출량이 많이 늘었다고 합니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Korea's exports of food products rose 9.2% year on year in the January to July period, led by sharp growth in outbound shipments of instant noodles and processed rice products. Let's move on to the second headline.
As extreme heat persists nationwide, the number of heat stroke-related casualties has reached a total of 1,690 so far this year, according to the Interior Ministry.
폭염이 전국적으로 지속되는 가운데 행정안전부에 따르면 올해 발생한 온열 질환자가 총 1,690명으로 집계됐습니다. 거의 1,700명이네요.
Yes, and I do think it has been the hottest summer so far. So what's happened is 2 women in their 70s have passed away due to extreme heat, and that has raised the death toll from this year's heat wave to 14.
Right.
This apparently on Sunday, a 71-year-old woman was found unconscious in her home in Seoul and subsequently died from a heat-related illness, while another 78-year-old woman died on the same day while working on a farm in Kohung, about 328 kilometers south of Seoul. So as I mentioned, these deaths have brought this year's heat wave death toll to 14 as of Sunday, and that has also increased the number of patients with heat-related illnesses to a total of 1,690 for this year.
Right.
And they say that the heat not only affects humans, but naturally also animals as well. Over 300,000 livestock have died due to extreme heat. And as of Tuesday, I think most parts of the country were under heat wave warnings. I had the AC on all day yesterday. And the weather agency has forecast that the heat wave may persist until at least August 15th.
Exactly. It's hard to imagine what summer would be like without the air conditioner.
AC, right?
Yeah. 정말 굉장히 덥죠. 전국 많은 지역이 이제 폭염특보가 발령이 계속돼 있는 상황이고요. 물론 해제된 지역도 있습니다만 이렇게 더운 가운데 지금까지 올해 1,690명 온열 질환자가 나왔다. 이렇게 그 누적 집계가 나왔습니다. 그중에 사망자가 14명이라는 안타까운 소식까지도 전해지고 있고요. 가축도 너무 더워서 폐사하고 있는데 30만 마리 이상이 더위 때문에 폐사했다고 합니다. 자, 첫 번째 표현은요. The heat is persisting.
Right. When something continues to exist or is prolonged, we say that it persists. So the weather, the hot weather is persisting. It means it's been continuing for a long time.
좀 끈질기게 지속되는 것을 persisting이라고 얘기를 할 수 있습니다. 자, 그 다음에는 heat stroke related casualties.
Right. So casualties we're talking about, when we talk about war, casualties are the people who have been affected, so injured or maybe killed. And heat stroke related, so something related means it's been caused by or showing a connection with.
Exactly. 자, heat stroke related 온열 질환과 관련된 casualties, 사상자가 되겠습니다. 부상자와 사망자를 포함한 거죠. 또 참고로 행정안전부는 영어로 Ministry of the Interior and Safety인데요. 이걸 그냥 줄여서 Interior Ministry라고 얘기를 할 수 있습니다. Here's the headline again. As extreme heat persists nationwide, the number of heat stroke-related casualties has reached a total of 1,690 so far this year, according to the Interior Ministry.
Korea's benchmark Kospi and the secondary Kosdaq both surged on Tuesday, prompting authorities to activate sidecars to temporarily suspend program trading.
어제 코스피 지수와 코스닥 지수 등 국내 증시가 급반등하면서 프로그램 매매 효력 정지 조치인 사이드카가 발동됐습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so both of these, the Kospi and Kosdaq, both surged over 5% on Tuesday. So they prompted authorities to activate these sidecars. So it's basically when they temporarily suspend program trading. It's also called a trade halt or a stock halt. So the Korea Exchange said that it was halting program trading on the Kospi for 5 minutes, starting at 9:06 a.m. after the Kospi 200 futures index jumped 16.75 points or 5.06% from the previous day. This is the first time a buy-side sidecar has been activated on the Kospi since June 16th of 2020. And sidecars are activated when the prices of the futures index jump 5% or more compared to standard prices. And the rise continues for 1 minute. And the 5-minute halt in trading was also activated after the tech-heavy Kosdaq 150 futures index and the Kosdaq 150 index soared 7.99% and 5.64% respectively from the previous day. And this is also the first time a sidecar has been activated on the Kosdaq since November 6th of last year.
아하, 그렇군요. 자, 코스피와 코스닥 모두 이렇게 급반등을 어제 하는 모습이었고요. 그로 인해서 5분간 프로그램 매매가 정지되는 일명 사이드카가 발동이 됐습니다. 모르는 분들을 위해서 좀 설명을 드리자면은 이 프로그램 매매라는 거는 컴퓨터가 알아서 자동으로 이제 그 주식을 한꺼번에 사고 파는 거를 말해요. 근데 여기서 특히 아까는 buying side, 매수 관련된 프로그램 매수가 정지가 됐었다. 이렇게 얘기를 했는데 그게 몇 년 만이라고 합니다. 자, 그렇다면 우리가 지금 이제 코스닥이니 코스피니 하면서 벤치마크라는 단어로 설명을 하고 있는데 그게 뭔지 한번 보겠습니다.
Yeah, so when we hear about the Kospi in English news, we call it the benchmark. And when something's a benchmark, it's kind of the standard or the point of reference against other things are compared or assessed against.
자, 벤치마크는 기준이 되는 것을 얘기합니다. 그래서 우리가 환율 얘기할 땐 뭐 benchmark US dollar라고 할 수도 있고요.
Yeah, usually, right.
그렇죠? Suspending, what does that mean?
Right, so when you suspend something, it means to stop or temporarily prevent from continuing or being in force or effect.
네, 연기하는 거를 말하죠. Suspending something. 그러니까 일시적으로 중단된 거를 여기서는 이렇게 표현하고 있습니다. 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Korea's benchmark Kospi and the secondary Kosdaq both surged on Tuesday, prompting authorities to activate sidecars to temporarily suspend program trading. Now let's move on to the next headline.
The United Kingdom is reportedly facing its worst riots in 13 years after far-right groups falsely claimed that an immigrant was responsible for a deadly attack last week.
영국에서 13년 만에 최악의 폭동이 발생했습니다. 이는 지난주 일어난 사망 사건의 용의자가 이민자라는 극우 세력의 가짜 뉴스가 확산한 결과라고 외신이 보도했습니다.
Right.
Now the rumors have been proven to be false, so it was indeed fake news. But that's not stopped the riots.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Right, so rioters, they've been setting fire to places. They're breaking into hotels, and they're specifically targeting hotels that accommodate asylum seekers in northern England. And this follows the tragic stabbing deaths of 3 young girls in Southport, northwest England earlier last week. And as we mentioned, immigrants were accused of being involved in this case, and the violence was reportedly triggered by, as we mentioned, it's been proven to be false, but misinformation that's been spread by far-right groups in the country. These groups falsely claimed that the assailant responsible for the stabbings was an immigrant, inciting anti-Muslim and anti-immigration sentiments, leading to violent protests and clashes in major cities, including Liverpool, Manchester, and Leeds. The police have confirmed that the suspect was born in Britain. However, no other details of the assailant in the crimes have been released.
Okay, so right now, the new prime minister is of the Labour Party, which is left-leaning.
Yeah.
But before, Rishi Sunak was a member of the Tories, which is, of course, a right-leaning party. 자, 기존에 리시 수낙 총리가 이제 원래는 right-leaning 보수 정당이죠. 근데 그 당시에 이제 이민자 추방을 하는 정책이 있었어요. 리시 수낙이 이거를 이제 시행을 했었는데 지금 현재의 키어 스타머 새로운 총리가 들어왔죠. 노동당입니다. 노동당은 이제 left-leaning이죠. 좌파인데 이쪽에서는 이 이민자 추방을 폐기했습니다. 추방하지 않는다라는 정책이에요. 그래서 안 그래도 이제 그것에 대한 반발이 있었던 그런 이제 right-leaning 국민들이 있는 가운데 얼마 전에 안타까운 사망 사건이 있었어요. 영국에서 어린이들과 관련된. 그런데 그것의 배후에 이 망명 신청자, 이민자가 있더라. 역시 추방해야 한다라는 뉴스를 만들어서 이 극우 세력들이 퍼뜨린 겁니다. 이게 사실이 아닌 것으로 드러났어요. 이민자가 배후에 있지 않았고 현지 영국인이었다고 합니다.
They were born in Britain.
영국에서 나서 자란 영국인이었대요. 근데 이제 그게 사실로 드러났기 때문에 그 사실이 드러나서 이게 페이크 뉴스라는 게 또 드러난 것이죠. 그럼에도 불구하고 시위는 계속되고 있어서 13년 만에 최악의 폭동입니다. 지금 영국 거의 전역에 걸친 그런 굉장히 그 폭력적으로 보이는 그런 폭동이 일어나고 있습니다. 여기저기 불 지르고요. 물건들이 지금 아주 난잡하게 그 던져지고 그러는 모습들이 그 사진을 통해서도 좀 비춰지는데.
Yeah, they say it's the worst since the 2011 riots that happened where thousands of people protested against the killing of Mark Dugan, who is a local black man by the police.
아, 그렇습니다.
Yeah.
네. 자, 그런데 이제 이게 가짜 뉴스였어요. So falsely claim이라는 표현을 좀 보겠습니다.
Right. So claim means to, state or assert that something is the case, typically without providing evidence or proof. And if you falsely claim something, it's usually incorrect, untrue, or mistaken.
그렇죠. falsely claim인데요. 주장을 하다, claim. 앞에 false니까 거짓 주장을 하다. 즉 거짓말을 하다, 가짜 뉴스를 퍼뜨리다라고도 해석을 할 수 있겠습니다. 그렇게 이제 극우 단체들이 한 것이죠. They said that an immigrant was responsible for the attacks.
Right. So be responsible. It usually comes together. Be responsible for something. So it means to be the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for something.
그렇습니다. Be responsible은 무엇에 대한 책임이 있다는 뜻이죠. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. The United Kingdom is reportedly facing its worst riots in 13 years after far-right groups falsely claimed that an immigrant was responsible for a deadly attack last week. Let's move on to our final headline.
Elon Musk says his brain chip startup Neuralink has successfully implanted a brain chip into a second patient and plans to perform another 8 trials later this year.
일론 머스크의 뇌신경과학 스타트업 뉴럴링크가 두 번째 환자의 뇌에 컴퓨터 칩을 성공적으로 이식했다고 밝혔습니다. 또한 올해 안으로 8명에게 칩 이식을 더 할 계획도 밝혔습니다. Okay, so following their first successful implantation of this chip, they say they've succeeded again.
Yeah. I remember hearing or watching a video clip of the first patient who had the implant, and he was talking about how he's able to play games again just by thinking.
Yeah.
And it looks like a second patient has received this implant, and it's been successful, or the transplant operation has been successful. So Musk said that 400 of the implant's electrodes on the second patient's brain are working, and Neuralink on its website states that its implant uses 1,024 electrodes. So Neuralink is in the process of testing its device, which is intended to help people with spinal cord injuries. The device has allowed, as I mentioned, the first patient to play video games, browse the internet, post on social media, and move a cursor on his laptop, all just by thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So his name is Nolan Arbau, and he said in an interview that with the implant, he can now just think about what he wants to happen on a computer screen, and the device makes it happen. Wow. And he said that the device has given him a modicum of independence and reduced his reliance on caregivers. So, right now we're so wired. We do so many things online. So I do think that just that connection online would be able to help a lot of patients who can't use their bodies or use their limbs in so many different ways.
Paralyzed patients will obviously be looking forward to this coming out.
Yeah.
And if it works, then it's great news indeed. 자, 그러니까 마비가 된 환자들 같은 경우에는요, 일론 머스크의 뉴럴링크가 만든 이 뇌 칩을 이식을 했을 때 그 기기를 사용해서 생각만으로 컴퓨터 화면에 있는 걸 조정할 수 있게 한다는 겁니다. 그래서 이제 첫 번째 환자가 아까 얘기했던 노랜드 아바우라는 첫 번째 칩 이식을 받은 그 환자 상황을 봤더니 기기를 장착하고요. 그다음에 몸을 움직이지 못하는 전신 마비 상태인데 그래도 이제 생각만으로 비디오 게임을 할 수가 있고 인터넷 검색이 가능하고요. 소셜 미디어에다가 뭘 올리고 그다음에 그 마우스 커서를 또 움직이는 것도 이게 가능하다고 합니다.
If you think about it, it's really amazing. So in your head, you're thinking, okay, move left, and the mouse is moving left.
그러니까요. 네, 정말 신기하네요. 근데 이번에는 또 두 번째 환자도 성공적으로 이식을 했다라고 해서 그 이목이 집중되는 가운데 올해 안에 8명에게 더 이식을 할 예정이다. 또 이렇게 밝혔네요.
Yep.
자, 이식하다. 영어로 implanting이라고 합니다.
Yeah, so it's used as a verb. We also call, what's implanted implant as well.
Oh, yeah.
But here it's used as a verb. So it means to insert or fix like a tissue or an artificial object. In this case, it's a computer chip into a person's body, especially by surgery.
그렇죠. 우리 그 치아 임플란트도 어떻게 보면은 넣은 거잖아요. 이식이라고 우리가 하진 않지만, 네, 그러니까 그런 임플란트라는 것은 무언가를 쏙 넣었다 요 이미지예요. 그래서 여기서는 implanted a brain chip이지만 우리 치아 얘기할 때는 또 임플란트를 하다가 될 수도 있고 임플란트라는 명사도 될 수 있습니다. What about a trial?
Yeah, a trial. So we talk about clinical trials a lot. So it's like a test of the performance, qualities, or suitability of something, or it could be someone as well.
그렇죠. 자, 여기서 말하는 이제 trial이라는 것은 뭐 실험이 될 수 있고 임상 실험 같은 게 될 수도 있고요. 다시 시도하겠다라는 의미가 될 수도 있습니다. 그래서 8명에게 더 칩을 이식한다. 제가 아까 기기라고 했는데 그냥 칩이라고 하는 게 더 맞겠네요.
Yeah.
네, 칩을 이식해서 그걸로 생각만 가지고 전신마비가 된 환자들이 컴퓨터 화면에 있는 거를 조정을 할 수 있다고 합니다.
Yeah, I also do want to mention when we are, when we are doing transplant is a different issue. So implant and transplant is a little different.
That's true.
So when we're talking about organs, when we are moving one organ from one person to another person, we call that a transplant.
그러네요. 한국말로는 다 이식인 것 같은데.
Yeah, but it's a little different. Yeah.
맞아요. 어떤 우리 기관을 뭐 신장 이식을 한다든지 이럴 때는 그 trans라는 단어가 들어가요. 한 몸에서 다른 몸으로 간다. 그래서 transplant라고 하지만 여기서 말하는 implant는 다른 사람의 몸에서 가는 게 아니라 그냥 기존의 하나의 도구를 새로 몸에 이식하는 거죠. 그래서 똑같은 이식이어도 implant가 있고 transplant가 있다는 것도 기억해 주시면 되겠습니다. Here's the headline again. Elon Musk says his brain chip startup, Neuralink, has successfully implanted a brain chip into a second patient and plans to perform another 8 trials later this year. Well, that's it for the headlines.
Korea experienced a record number of tropical nights in July, logging the longest period of tropical nights for the month since records began in 1973.
올해 7월 열대야 일수가 관련 통계 집계가 시작된 1973년 이래 가장 많은 것으로 나타났습니다. So how many days are we talking about, Ray?
We are talking about 8.8. So 8.8. So nearly 9. Pretty much we can say 9 days. I think we might as well explain just for some people that might not know what a tropical night is. It's defined as a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius or higher from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. the next day. So it's those very muggy nights where I definitely can't sleep.
그래요. From 6 p.m. I believe.
6 p.m. to 9 a.m.
To 9 a.m.
Was that not what I said?
I don't remember
Okay.
exactly.
That's what I thought I said.
Okay. 아, 그래요. 저녁부터 다음날 아침까지 밤에 25도 이상일 때는 보통 우리가 열대야라고 하죠. 영어로 tropical nights라고 하는데요. 이게 이번 2024년 7월 같은 경우에는 통계적으로 이제 8.8일이 이제 전국 평균으로 나온 겁니다. 뭐 어디는 조금 더 열대야 일수가 더 많았고 어디는 좀 더 짧았고 이러다 보니까 이제 8.8이라는 그런 수치상의 넘버가 나왔지만 이게 이제 기존 평년의 그 average에 비해서 상당히 높은 거라고 해요. So compared to the monthly average we've been seeing over the years, how high is this?
Quite high. The average was 2.7 days. That was from 1991 to 2020. And now, 8.8. And in July, Seoul had 11 tropical nights. So that's even higher.
네.
And Gangneung and Gangwon-do, they experienced 3 ultra-tropical nights.
Which is...
When temperatures remain above 30 degrees Celsius. They'd only ever had 2 recorded ultra-tropical nights in the past, one in 2008 and one in 2017. So
아이고.
it is a scorcher this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. A scorcher. 정말 더운 날씨다 이런 뜻이죠. 자, 서울 같은 경우에는 7월 달에 11일이나 열대야가 관측이 됐습니다. 강원도는 초열대야라고 하는 밤에 30도 이상의 정말 무더운 날씨가 며칠 이어졌었고요. 그러다 보니까 그 평균적으로는 7월 달에 한 2일에서 3일 정도의 열대야가 있었던 것에 비해서 이번에 3배 이상 많은 그런 평균 일수를 볼 수 있었습니다. Let's have a look at our first expression, and that's to experience something.
That's when something happens to you or you feel something, like pain, for example. So if you go to the doctor might ask you what your symptoms are. I'm experiencing headaches. I'm experiencing whatever it is that's wrong with you. Like during these tropical nights, I experience very restless sleep.
Sure.
I wake up a lot, and my sleep is very, very disrupted by the weather, by
I'm
the
sure
heat.
you're not alone. Experience something은 무언가를 경험하다, 무언가를 겪다라는 뜻인데요. Experience tropical nights, 그럼 열대야를 겪다. Experience pain, 그러면은 고통을 요즘엔 이제 느낀다는 거겠죠. 진료실에 가서 요즘에 여기가 아파요, 저기가 아파요 할 때 I feel pain 해도 되겠지만 I'm experiencing pain here and there.
I've been experiencing dizziness. I've been experiencing headaches.
Exactly. 그렇게 쓸 수 있습니다. The next expression is logging something.
That just means to officially record something.
Yeah.
So in this case, the Korea Meteorological Administration is officially recording the temperatures and then declaring, okay, this is how many tropical nights we've had.
네, 이제 공식 기록이 됐다라는 뜻인데요. 전국 평균이 이렇게 8.8일로 logged, 기록이 됐습니다. 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Korea experienced a record number of tropical nights in July, logging the longest period of tropical nights for the month since records began in 1973. Let's move on to the second headline.
The Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency has issued a nationwide malaria warning after confirming the presence of malaria-carrying mosquitoes, indicating a higher risk of contracting the disease.
말라리아 매개 모기가 발견됨에 따라 감염 확률이 높아지면서 질병관리청이 전국에 말라리아 경보를 발령했습니다. Okay, so mosquitoes have always been around,
Right.
but there have been those with the malaria protozoan, I think they're called. Those have been discovered. This is a chemical term, but basically mosquitoes with the malaria-carrying
Disease.
Disease-carrying mosquitoes
Right,
have been
yes.
discovered.
That's right.
Tell us more.
So this is definitely concerning.
Yeah.
Earlier this summer, malaria warnings were actually issued in 9 cities and districts, including Yancheon-gu and Gangsa-gu in Seoul,
yeah.
which is where I live. So I'm definitely nervous about this. So malaria is spread through, usually it's marsh mosquitoes that are infected with the disease. So symptoms, just to give people some symptoms here, high fever, loss of appetite, chills, and flu-like symptoms. So like for me, like chills is the easiest one to feel, especially in the summertime. So as of July 27th, there have been 347 cases in Korea. Now, on one hand, the good news is that it's nearly a 17% decrease compared to the same period last year. However, the average number of mosquitoes carrying malaria discovered daily this year is 6.5, which is an increase from last year's 4.4.
그래요. 여러 가지 증상을 먼저 얘기해 주셨는데 the symptoms 보면은 고열, high fever, loss of appetite, 식욕이 이제 없어지는 거죠. 입맛 떨어지는 거. What other symptoms did you mention? Sorry, I didn't write them all
High
down.
fever, loss of appetite, chills. And flu-like symptoms.
chills는 이제 오한이 느껴진다는 거고요. flu-like symptoms는 독감과 비슷한 증상들인데 I think the flu-like symptoms include nausea, and so if you experience any of those after being bitten by a mosquito, you might have malaria. So
You may not
get
even,
tested.
everyone gets bit by mosquitoes in the summertime,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
now malaria is most commonly contracted from mosquito bites after sweating from outdoor activities at night. So that's when mosquitoes are most active. Now, you need to be very cautious about walking or jogging near lake parks. Or any marsh areas, puddles, where there's a place where there's lots of puddles, because that is where mosquitoes breed and lay their eggs.
Yeah, exactly. 습하고 더운 곳을 좋아하죠, 모기들이요. 자, 표현 보겠습니다. The presence of these mosquitoes.
And the presence of something just means the existence of something or the state of being somewhere. So it's kind of common on invitations. People will write, your presence is requested at this event or at the wedding. It means we want you there. It's a fancy way to say that.
꼭 와주세요라는 말로 your presence is requested 이렇게 표현할 수가 있군요. presence는 원래 존재라는 뜻이지만 이렇게 와주시면은 그 존재만으로 저희가 감사하겠습니다. 이런 느낌으로도 쓸 수 있다는 거예요. Of course, here we're talking about an unwelcome presence.
Yes.
Mosquitoes, obviously.
Carrying malaria.
Yeah. What about contracting something? What does that
That means
mean?
to become infected with something. So we talked about this a lot during the pandemic.
Oh, yes, that's right. Being infected with something, contracting something, 어떤 병에 걸리다란 뜻입니다. Here's the headline again. The Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency has issued a nationwide malaria warning after confirming the presence of malaria-carrying mosquitoes, indicating a higher risk of contracting the disease.
The government has issued a travel ban for border regions in northern Israel and southern Lebanon amid sharply escalating tensions in the region.
네, 중동에서 확전 위기가 고조되면서 정부가 이스라엘 북부 접경 지역과 레바논 남부 접경 지역에 여행 금지 경보를 발령했습니다. Tell us more.
Well, the Korean Foreign Ministry, they have issued a level 4 ban for these regions, and this is the highest on a 4-scale travel warning system. This took effect at 12 a.m. on Wednesday. Now, anyone who violates this could face punishment under the Passport Act. Last summer, at least 4 South Koreans had been convicted of violating a ban on traveling to Ukraine without permission. So the government does enforce this punishment here for sure.
네, 자 지금 여행 금지 경보가 발령됐습니다. 여행 자제 권고가 아니고요. 여행 금지입니다. 그래서 여행을 지금 얘기한 이 지역에 할 경우에는 처벌도 받을 수 있는데요. 사실 궁극적으로는 우리 국민의 안전을 위해서 내려지는 조치니까 지금 이 지역이 굉장히 위험하기 때문에 가지 않아야 합니다. 자, 그러면 첫 번째 표현을 좀 볼게요. It's a ban.
A ban, yes. If something is banned, then that's you are legally prohibited from doing something. You are not allowed to do it. A lot of times people can get banned from restaurants or bars if they cause any problem there.
Exactly.
You can ban. Have you ever been banned from someplace before?
I don't think so.
No.
Have you?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to see if you had. Maybe you kicked up a fuss somewhere. And,
Oh, I wish I had a story like that, but
maybe,
unfortunately...
what was it? CNN in Hong Kong? Didn't they ban you, I heard? Did that ever happen? The
I
building?
wasn't banned, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me just, come in.
Oh, okay. There's not like photos of you. Like if you see a 5-foot Korean lady, do not let her in. Like that's not.
Because I didn't have an appointment, so
Oh,
they
okay.
wouldn't let me in.
Well, yeah, that makes
it's
sense
not a
then.
ban.
Okay.
Yeah. 자, 금지, ban이라고 하죠. B-A-N. Escalating tensions는요?
Well, escalating. Think of an escalator. You take an escalator, you go up. So if something escalates, it increases. Now, tensions, this means anger and hostility between groups, and there's the likelihood that it could spill over or turn into violence at any moment. The situation could explode, and that's definitely what's happening in that region.
Yeah.
Things are very tense at the moment. It's a tinderbox.
escalating이라는 거는 올라가고 있다라는 뜻이 있기 때문에 여기서는 고조되는 tensions, 긴장감, 즉 위기입니다. 확전의 위기까지도 지금 언급이 되고 있어요. 그만큼 긴장 상황이 고조되고 있는 거죠. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. The government has issued a travel ban for border regions in northern Israel and southern Lebanon amid sharply escalating tensions in the region. Now let's move on to the next headline.
Renowned street artist Banksy has unveiled new artwork in London depicting 2 elephants poking their heads out of blocked-out windows.
유명한 거리 예술가 뱅크시의 새로운 벽화가 영국 런던에서 공개됐습니다. 벽화는 2마리의 코끼리가 막힌 창문 밖으로 머리를 내밀고 있는 모습입니다. Okay, so a new picture, would you say?
A new painting.
A new painting,
A new
okay.
painting,
Yeah.
That's his type of artwork. It's street art.
Yeah.
And this is the second one that he's released recently within 24 hours. So the second one that we mentioned in the headlines here, it has 2 elephants that they're like reaching towards each other at a
Yeah.
blocked. Are we putting a picture of it?
No, we won't be doing that. But you can look it up.
You can look it up,
It's,
sure.
Yeah, quite easy to find. Our writer says, why don't we reenact the artwork? But I'll leave it to our listeners' imagination because it's 2 elephants.
Yeah, but they're like
Are you gonna do it? Are you
yeah, kind of like that. I don't know. Bad radio. I don't.
그래요. It's on the second floor of this building, isn't
Right,
it? Yeah.
right. So this one, this was in a side of a house in southwest London. On Monday, he revealed a piece that portrayed a goat perching on top of a wall near Kew Bridge in Richmond upon Thames. This image depicts a silhouette of a goat on top of a ledge. There's rocks falling down, and there's a CCTV camera pointed towards the goat. So Banksy, sometimes people think they're Banksy's, but you have to look at his Instagram, and he verifies if it's actually his. Now, so he didn't leave any comments on his social media posts, so nobody really knows exactly what he's saying with these paintings. A lot of times he does make political comments.
But it is his work, right?
Yeah, it's his work.
Okay.
We're just not sure what he actually means by these ones.
I
Are we talking about the threat of extinction for some animals, or is he talking about a lack of privacy?
Maybe.
Yeah, I have to think a bit more about what he's trying to do with these ones.
You're a big fan of Banksy, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
자,
Definitely.
그래요. 뱅시는 이제 얼굴 없는 그런 예술가로 유명하죠. 아무도 본 사람이 없어요. 그런 익명성이 또 하나의 트레이드마크이기도 한데 작품을 만들고 그다음에 딱 사라집니다. 네, 영국에 이제 새로운 작품이 등장했어요. 그 대신에 이제 뱅시의 소셜 미디어 같은 데서 이제 이거 내가 그린 거 맞아 이렇게 확인을 해주기는 합니다. 그래서 이번에는 코끼리 2마리의 그런 이미지인데요. 검정색으로 된 코끼리가 이제 얼굴을 창밖으로 내밀고 있는 이런 모습입니다.
I have a feeling he's trying to say that it's people looking out the window and being like, okay, what's actually going on out here? Because there's a lot of unrest in the UK right now. So
that's true. Could be.
You know, and then there's two elephants. So are we showing, is he trying to show there's two sides? And now everyone's putting their heads out and saying, okay, what's actually
maybe.
going on out here?
Yeah. 레이 선생님의 해석도 좋네요. 지금 현재 영국에서 거의 뭐 초유의 폭동 사태라고 볼 수 있는 십몇 년 만에 가장 최악의 폭동 사태가 벌어지고 있어서 그런 거에 대한 이제 어떤 비유인가 사람들이 무슨 일이 일어나는 거야 하는 걸 묘사한 건가라는 레이 선생님의 해석이었습니다. 자, 뱅크시는 굉장히 renowned한 아티스트예요.
Renowned, very famous. Very well known.
That's right.
You're a renowned presenter in Korea.
Thank you. All right. And what about depicting something?
That's when you show something, you represent something in a picture or a painting, like how Banksy did here. Or you can also depict something in words as well, in a story. If you describe something, you show something in a certain way or describe something in a certain way, you're depicting it that way.
네, 묘사하다, depicting, illustrating, portraying, describing.
My like one thing I always think of is you think of bears. Bears are in cartoons. They're always depicted as very friendly and cute and cuddly. But the more you read about bears, especially polar bears, they can be vicious.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, they kill people in the Arctic all the time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
but they're depicted as friendly,
right.
cuddly.
You just want to go and cuddle them, but they'll rip your head off.
아이고, 예, 알겠습니다. 곰들이 보통은 이제 굉장히 프렌들리한 것으로 묘사가 되는데 실제 캐나다에는 이제 여기저기서 그냥 곰들이 돌아다닌다고 하거든요. 굉장히 무섭대요. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Renowned street artist Banksy has unveiled a new artwork in London depicting two elephants poking their heads out of blocked out windows. All right, and here's our next headline.
Italy has appointed a special commissioner to tackle the spread of the blue crab, an aggressive species that is preying on local clams and threatening a lucrative part of the country's food production.
이탈리아 정부가 조개 양식장과 자국 식량 생산에 막대한 피해를 주는 외래종개인 푸른 꽃게의 확산을 막기 위해 비상대책위원장을 임명했습니다. So they have a commissioner to tackle blue crabs.
Blue crabs, yeah. So they say that these blue crabs they're really, as it mentions here, they're preying on local clams, and that's a huge part of the economy there.
See.
You know, and it's even in a lot of the food, a lot of the dishes. What's the where did I wrote it down here? Spaghetti alle vongole? I don't know if I pronounced it. Spaghetti with clams. That's a very classic dish.
너무나 잘 아는 디시죠. 우리나라에서는 봉골레 파스타라고 하잖아요. 봉골레라고 하는데 거기에 조개가 많이 들어가죠. 그래서 이 조개를 많이 생산하고 판매하고 하는 것이 결국은 이 지역의 부와도 관련이 되어 있는데 이 blue crab가 와서 그 조개들을 다 잡아먹고 있다고 합니다. So it's a problem.
Yeah, they say the blue crabs probably arrived in Italy through shipping ballast water. It's like through shipping, through ships, how they take in water and then they let water out. Like how boats do when they unload and load cargo.
Right.
So that's probably, and this is a thing, this happens. Like that's how species are introduced to different areas.
Yeah.
But they don't know why they're multiplying so fast. Now, one thing that I found that was kind of interesting is a lot of Italian restaurants, they've started to introduce these crabs into their menus now.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. This kind of started, it's not so recent. Like even last year, there was articles about this as well. And fishers have started to get them and then sell them in markets and sell them to people. So, you know, I think Italians can cook anything, right? Like, I think they could make a shoe taste good. So you put some red sauce on it and some cheese. I might eat it.
Our listener 조주희님 says, if you can't beat 'em, eat 'em.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. The first expression here is aggressive. These blue crabs are apparently very aggressive.
Right. In this case, we're talking about aggressive species. You might hear or read about an aggressive disease. So that's when it's spreading very quickly. Now, aggressive in general can just mean someone who is quite eager to fight, They maybe a bit hostile. They get angry easily. So it's like some bears. I just mentioned bears. Bears can be aggressive.
Sure, of course.
In sports, we'll talk about people being aggressive, meaning they're very determined and they play very hard. You might talk about an aggressive salesperson. You know, they're just really, really like determined to make that sale, kind of in your face maybe.
네, 그렇습니다. 자, 굉장히 공격적으로 무언가 할 때 공격적인이라는 뜻의 aggressive를 쓸 수 있고요. lucrative는 수익성이 굉장히 좋다는 뜻이죠.
Lucrative.
Yeah.
A business or an investment that makes a lot of money.
Exactly. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Italy has appointed a special commissioner to tackle the spread of the blue crab, an aggressive species that's preying on local clams and threatening a lucrative part of the country's food production. Well, that's it for the headlines with Ray.